This kind of make you want to go to like the Dominican Republic or Mexico. You just want to like, doesn't it? No? Is it just me? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and I believe this afternoon I would like to talk about how creating an LLC and also filing with taxes can be very profitable and beneficial to you, not only getting a lot of your return back and a lot of money back from the federal government, but also there's some pitfalls, there's some restrictions, there are some things that you need to know in order to do so, because there's so many different filings for an LLC that I think you guys need to be very, very aware of. Okay. Good morning, Learning Every Day. Thank you for moderating today. I appreciate that. Okay. So when we talk about LLCs, we know that most likely there are 4 types of LLCs, right? The first one is the single member, and that's regarded as your sole proprietorship. And then the second LLC is your multi-member, more than 2 people. And then you can also see LLC as a C corporation, and then LLC as an S corporation. A lot of questions I've been asked over the course of time, and I just want to tell you the benefits. I'm no tax guru, okay? So I just want to say, oh, should I file like this? I'm not going to give you that particular information, but I will tell you the financial benefits that you can actually use an LLC to really get some tax benefits. Now, it does come with one warning sign. If you're getting into business or you're filing an LLC simply so you can file as a law so you can get a big chunk of money back from the federal government, that can throw up a big red, a big warning sign or a big alert sign or a big flag to the federal government in order for them to do an audit, and they will actually find out in their investigation, did you build this business for profit, or did you build this business as a tax haven in order for you to extract more money out of the federal government? So this is for those who are doing things legitimately and not just trying to form an LLC to get a fat check back from the federal government, because that's very fraudulent. And believe me, the federal government, mainly the IRS, knows when and where to come and get you in order to get their money back and destroy your life. Now, for those of you who want to be in business, I don't care if you want to sell pens or pencils. I don't care if you want to sell plastic cups. You want to change the perspective of the red cup of drinking to a blue cup of drinking tea. I don't care. Some of the benefits that you can actually receive and tax deductions that you can receive from filing with an LLC. And we'll break down the different types of LLCs as I went to. You have the sole proprietorship LLC, you have the partnership, aka the multi-member LLC, you have the C corporation LLC, you have the S corporation LLC. Believe it or not, that you can deduct rental expense, like if you pay for a rental office or retail space, or in some cases like what I do, if I'm operating like I'm here in my home office, we only use this office for business. And I'm moving upstairs as this room is getting completed. I'm moving upstairs into another office so my lady can have this office. We have 2 offices inside of our home. With that being said, you can actually add the square footage. So let's take, for instance, the room upstairs is 230 square foot. The room down here, I want to say, is around 200 square foot. So essentially, when you're going through your taxes, they're going to ask you the amount of space that you have allocated in order for business, okay, if your personal business, your LLC, so they can do some sort of algorithm so they can compute how much deduction and or tax credit that you receive from that. I always tell people each and every year, give to the Habitat, was it Habitat for Community? I forgot the name. What's the name of that one, babe? Habitat for Humanity, Goodwill, Salvation Army, and always ask for a receipt, because this is proof that you are giving a charity. Some people are like, I'm just going to give up my old clothes. That's fine. Give out your old clothes, but always ask for a receipt. That way, that is tax deductible. And what it does is, up until around $5,000, you can donate up to $5,000 without sending a red flag to the IRS. And the reason why I say that is because with that sheet, most of them don't fill it out. So you can go and fill it out, and that won't send up a red flag. You know, more times it won't send out a red flag to the IRS. When you start to go over $5,000 of charity, of a tax deduction, there's an additional form that you have to fill out, and that will send up red flags to the IRS. So unless you're doing things legitimately, I'll say stay under the $5,000 threshold with your prominent charitable expense sheet and or receipt from that establishment. Okay. Tangible properties, you can actually get tax credits and benefits from that. We're dealing with an LLC. Meals and entertainment. So a lot of people say, I'm going to do a working vacation. I've done that plenty of times. Last year, we went to Mexico because I was conducting business. Half of those expenses I can actually file under my LLC. Now, on the other half, the lady, you know, my lady, her expenses, I can't really do it because she was not working in that capacity. It was solely just me. Even though we deal with a partner LLC, you want to be as legitimate as possible, because you're going to have to prove if you get audited that this was for business. Okay, that majority of this trip was for business. What type of business did you conduct? You know, was this a business lunch? Was this a business dinner? Was this a business breakfast? Was this a business outing? You know, what was the purpose of this? So a lot of times, that's why you see a lot of people holding receipts, or they take pictures of their receipt, because they're filing all these things under their LLC. Okay. Also, as I'm getting this office built, this is very imperative. You get a little room built out, or you get something built that's dealing with your office space, or where you're going to be working out, your workshop. It's important to keep certain contractor receipts, because that is building your business. Okay. That is so with this room upstairs, I kept the invoice. I kept some of the receipts of some of the product that went inside the room, because again, I'm building a room and then I have to furnish the room. These are all tax deductible because this is part of the business. Okay. This is part of the business. So what are some other questions that I think that you guys may have? One big thing is your cell phone. Okay. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I know people who have one cell phone. Some people have two cell phones. But if you conduct more business on your cell phone than personal calls, then guess what? You can actually file that cell phone as a business expense, because a cell phone, if you work from other organizations like in the military, they provide certain people with cell phones. So provided by an employer is generally considered a benefit the employer can deduct. Okay, so since you are self-employed, or maybe you are a manager, or you're a CEO or whatever business, and you give your employees a cell phone, those things are deductible. But case in point, you're your own business owner. Maybe you have another member, or maybe it's 3 or 4 of you guys, and you use your personal cell phone, but that personal cell phone is mostly conducted for business. Let's say 60% business, 40% personal, 70% business, 30% personal. You can file primarily majority of that bill throughout the year as a business expense. So that's very important too. That's going to give you more of a tax deduction. And in turn, in some cases, you get a larger tax return and pay no taxes. That's why a lot of people don't even understand. Some people say 2 years is actually 3 years. You can file your LLC as a loss, and that will absolutely help you get majority of the money that you paid back in a refund. Okay. Or some people like, hey, man, I don't want to owe. I just want to be zeroed out. Okay. Now, when it comes to the IRS and the one member LLCs, those are considered as sole proprietorships. And sole proprietorships, guess what? They count that as your personal income. And this particular filing, you have to file it in the sense of personal income, So let's say, for instance, you have a business that you're making like, I don't know, 90,000 a year. They're going to count that as your personal income. And sometimes you may fall out of the protections and benefits of a regular LLC. That's why I always encourage people, if you're going to build an LLC, try to find someone that you can trust. Always have a multi-member LLC, and because not only are you a multi-partner, a multi-partnership, but you also are an employee of your own business. So throughout the business funds, you should be paying yourself. That way you can get around from filing two different types, unless you have some side hustles and or retirement and other, investments that may come in under your personal account. That's different. So you might have to do two returns all in all. But when we're talking about the IRS, this means essentially that the LLC itself does not pay taxes and does not have a file to return with the IRS. So you as a sole owner of your LLC, you must report all benefits and or losses of the LLC on a Schedule C and submit it with your personal 1040 tax return. Okay. I'm trying to see the questions I had down for you guys. Does my LLC have to make money? This is another question. Okay. This is another question. LLCs aren't required to have income or post profits. And I said this before, and here it is again. But if a business owner is claiming tax deductions through an LLC without reporting income, the IRS is likely to conduct an audit to determine if the LLC is actually for-profit business. And lo and behold, nobody wants to get audited in this economy. Nobody wants to get audited from the IRS, because I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there are very, very few times in history that I've ever heard that someone that came through an audit unscathed. Very few times. They always find someone, we went back to 2008, the tax return, and we found out that you owe the federal government $1,500. And some of people are like, woo, just $1,500? Man. So you got to be very, very careful, okay? You have to be very, very careful. Another question. How do you pay yourself when you own an LLC? See, as a member of a single member LLC, and the reason why I'm harping on this so much, because I know so many people who are a single member LLC, and I would encourage them to make it a multi-member. So as a single member of an LLC, you don't get paid a salary or wages. Instead, you pay yourself by taking money out of the LLC profits as needed. That's called an owner's draw. I mean, you are owner of the LLC. You're the only member of the LLC. So you're drawing money out of your own LLC. You can simply write yourself a check or transfer the money from your LLC bank account to your personal bank account. And ladies and gentlemen, believe me, you need an LLC bank account. And I don't mean that it's labeled an LLC bank account. You need a business bank account. You want to have those monies separate, okay? You want to have those monies that any information you're getting paid by, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, whatever. You want that going to your business account, okay? Because again, this is all for tax protections, okay? You want to protect yourself when it comes to taxes, all right? Now, some of you may ask, well, what is the downsides of an LLC? Profits subject to Social Security and Medicare tax. You're going to pay that, okay? In some circumstances, owners of an LLC may end up paying more taxes than owners of a corporation. So you also may want to look into, depending on how many you are, of a C corporation as well as an S corporation. Salaries and profits of an LLC are subject to self-employment taxes, currently equal to a combined of 15.3%. Okay, so we have to be very, very aware of that, of these taxes, because they can be dire. Well, let's dig a little bit deeper into a single member LLC. And some people will label this as a disregarded entity, because a single member LLC is essentially taxed as a sole proprietorship, as I said before. The name implies you need to be the sole owner of the LLC, nobody else. This classification falls into the pass-through taxation category, the business doesn't file any tax forms. The business doesn't file any tax form because as the owner of the LLC, you report your business income or loss on your personal tax forms. You see, right then and there, it should already trigger that this can be a disadvantage when it comes to taxes, because on your personal taxes and your business taxes, and you combine them, and now you're up at $250,000, guess how you're going to be taxed? You're going to be taxed like, the 5% of the country making $250,000 or more. So you're going to be in that 30+% category of taxes. You don't want to be there. Because essentially, what I was talking about, you need to pay yourself self-employment taxes if you're engaged in active trade or businesses, such as providing a service like copywriting or selling a product. If you formed an LLC for a passive activity, such as a real estate investment, then you don't pay self-employment tax on those profits. You report your passive profits, okay? And they have all these different schedules, Schedule C, Schedule E. Again, I'm no tax professional, but I know these taxes because myself with my LLC, okay? You got to be very, very aware. And when it comes to like a Schedule E, let's take for example, Daryl is a freelancer and he does UI design, okay? Your unit interface design, who formed an LLC for his business. He earned $75,000 in profit in, let's say, 2019. He reports this income on his personal tax form, pays income taxes on that $75,000 at his individual rate, and pays self-employment tax. Tax. Now, what is the difference between the sole proprietorship LLC and the multi-member LLC partnership? Okay, because when it comes to a partnership or a multi-member LLC, there has to be 2 or more members, because it would be taxed federally as a partnership unless it elects to be taxed as an S corporation or C corporation. A multi-member LLC taxed as a partnership reports its business income on a separate form, on a separate tax form. I believe it's like a 1065 partnership tax return, some of those lines, okay? Then each partner pays self-employment tax on his share of the partnership profit on the scheduled tax form, okay? Again, that might be one of those E forms, one of those particular forms that you have to actually file on. Because as with the single member LLC, you only pay self-employment taxes if the LLC engages in an active trade or business. If you, with your sole proprietorship filing of your LLC, if you are into active trade or business, then you can file it differently under a business tax form. And if you don't, and you're just selling commerce or products, then you have to combine that with your personal taxes. Because the reason why this is important is because a lot of us may be working for someone else. Like, say, for instance, my lady, she works for an organization and she also has her own business. So essentially, if she's her own partner, she's by herself, she has to combine the profit she makes from her personal business with her personal income, which may shoot up her entire salary for the year and puts her in the 5% bracket, which they're going to deduct 32% of her earnings in taxes. You're going to have to pay 32%. So that's very imperative. Now, when it comes to LLC as a C corporation, loss of words, LLC can elect to be treated as a corporation for tax purpose filing with the IRS. See, the LLC files a corporate tax return and pays taxes on its profit as a corporate tax rate. Now, if LLCs profits are distributed to LLC owners in the form of dividends, those dividends are taxed again at the qualifying dividend rate. This is also known as double taxation. I know some of you out there in business, you've heard of double taxation. But see, the LLC profits are not subject to self-employment tax, but an LLC is treated as a C corporation, is responsible for payroll taxes on any wages paid to LLC members who work for the business. Now, if you prefer to keep profits in the company rather than distributing end of the year profits to owners, a C corporation probably would work for you. In this case, only the company is taxed on the profits. Individual owners are not responsible for paying taxes on whatever money stays in the business. So again, very, very imperative. And if I were to give an example, I guess it would be, for example, Keisha owns a consulting company that earned $100,000 in profit. As an LLC is treated as a C corporation, the business will pay $35,000 in taxes in this income. So assuming a 34% tax rate. Okay, I told you, you saw getting up there, the six figures, you start paying in the 30s if you're not married. Okay, if Keisha takes home that profit as a dividend, she will also owe taxes at a 15% qualifying dividend rate on the dividend payment. But if she decides to keep that money in the business, perhaps to expand her marketing budget that year, she does not own any personal taxes on the profit. That's why you always see organizations like Amazon, Google, etc., and they reinvest their profit back into the company, back into their corporation, in order not to pay large tax hike. In some cases, don't even pay taxes. This is a lot of strategy that the big boy uses, and I'm trying to tell you guys, this is some of the strategy that you guys can use as well. See, the LLC elects, and we're talking about S corporations. We'll move on to S corporations. LLCs elect to be treated as a S corporation. The S corporation files I believe, a 1120 S tax return, but the company's profits, okay, the company's profits are not subject to corporate income tax as they are in the C corporation. Instead, individual LLC owners are taxed on their respective shares of the company's profits, and profits are not subject to self-employment tax. Be very aware of that, because those self-employment tax I know of, and when you're getting double taxation, it's not fun. Okay, it's not fun. You're gonna have to really get a well-educated, a well-informed CPA in order to do your taxes. And I'm not gonna beat up Jackson Hewitt or TurboTax or H&R Block, but I will say they know how to do taxes. But when you have your own business and you work for someone and you invest in your IRA, your 401k, and you have individual stocks, and you have bonds, and you have this, and you have that, and you have properties, you want a professional who has dealt with such a capacity of different areas of taxes to make sure you don't end up owing the federal government. Okay? But let's say, for instance, you have three people, they start a social media company, and each owns 1/3 of the business. They form an LLC and elect to be an S corporation. In the first year, the business earned $90,000 in profit. The LLC does not pay income tax on the profit. Instead, each owner includes his or her share of the profit of $30,000 in their taxable income on their individual tax return. Think about that. The business owned $90,000, and because this is an S corporation and they're part owners and they're members of the S corporation, they take home that $30,000, so they're only paying taxable income on $30,000 for the individual tax rate. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal, because think about it like this. If the business lost $60,000 in the first year, each owner would include a $20,000 loss on an individual taxable income, which again, that actually works out for you in the end. So it's imperative to understand how these taxes work. It's imperative how, that in some capacities, you may need to have an expert to work on your taxes. Let's see here. Let's see if we have any questions. I see a couple of people who are joining me here who are watching. Does anyone have any questions of the information? I'll make sure if you want to come live as well, Let me make sure I invite you guys, in case you guys have any questions. All right, I list that inside the chat room. So I see learning every day. I don't see any questions from anyone else. So guys, if you have any questions about these 4 LLCs, if you will go ahead and join, you can join with or without your video. So we can all be well educated. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to show you, all the filing numbers. Like literally, I have all of my tax stuff, lined up. TD Ameritrade. I got, all this mortgage, you name it. I got tax documents all on my desk, rating. I've scanned them. I am saving them to send them to my CPA. But I mean, I'm talking about this table over here is quite nasty. This is all taxes. Because in the end, I don't want the federal government to come and take my home. So it's important that you do the right thing. I know that the quick, fast money of being fraudulent with your taxes is fun. I mean, I got tax information over here on this desk. I got taxes. So they're everywhere. But it's important that you get your documentation in order and file with an actual CPA or someone who's well versed in doing taxes. And I mean, like me, if you have a lot of things going on in your finances, you want to make sure you get someone say, hey, you question them. You know how to do tax? Yeah, I know how to do taxes. And then you give them all your, let's take, for instance, let's name some of these tax documents, okay? This is a 1099, right, for investments, okay? What's another one here? This is another 1090. Well, this is a 1099 miscellaneous. So you have a 1099R, 1099 miscellaneous. What's another one here? Another 1099R. This one is a 1098. So you have all these different types of tax documents with your investments, your properties. Even if you don't have any properties, maybe your house, your 401k, your IRA, and you want to question that tax professional if they know how to file these things. And like, here's the thing, like, hey, you give them on the spot exam. Like this is a pop-up exam. So how would you, what are the benefits of filing my 1098? They're like 1098. Do you know what a 1098? Oh, I don't have my no. Oh, no. You don't know what a 1098 is? That's for mortgages. No, I'm not dealing with you. What about my 1099s? 1099. Is that the same? Wait a minute, hold up. I know how to do a 1099. Oh, that's like a 1040. No. 1099s are for investments. Therefore, you'll see a 1099R. You'll see a 1099 miscellaneous. You'll see a 1099 DIV for dividends. No. If they don't know what they're talking about, don't file with them. Don't file with them. Joy E said, I need a good CPA. Does anyone you recommend? I forgot. Hold on. Let me see. I have my CPA in my phone. Okay, let me see something. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure, I'm not just giving out people's information illegitimately. I'm going to see if he has a website, because a lot of times, a lot of these CPAs don't have websites, right? But let me see if they have a website first. Let me see if they have a website first, and then I will let that information out, okay? Because this was a recommendation from a buddy of mine who's a millionaire who gave me his CPA. And, a lot of times when these millionaires give you information, they don't really want it to be public. They don't want you to be blasting information out. So I'm trying to be discreet as possible. So I'm going to have to get back with you on that, Joy E. You might have to watch next one of my broadcasts. But I'm going to have to ask the CPA itself, is it okay if I put this information out there? Because a lot of times these CPAs are working by word of mouth, and they don't want to be a public, okay? Because when you put it on social media, you are automatically public, okay? Everybody can see it. Let's see who else we got in the room today. Looks like that's all we have. If anybody doesn't have any other question, I would like to take this time for those of you. I know I have Miss One, Wendell, Learning Every Day, for you guys contributing to my platform by the way of Cash App. I know a lot of times Cash App doesn't show on these platforms, but I would just like to thank you guys. You guys donated a while back, but I still saw them, and I just want to thank you guys for supporting the platform. Again, by the support, every donation I receive in the support of this platform does go into equipment and making the platform better, okay? So let's take, for instance, just give an example. I was on Restream. Restream is a horrible, I don't want to say that. Restream is not for me. A lot of connectivity problems, a lot of black screens. So I'm moving over to StreamYard, which is a more stable platform. So anyway, does anyone have any questions about the different types of LLCs? The different types of LLCs that we have covered today, ladies and gentlemen, has been LLC in the form of a sole proprietorship. That's a single member. Then the second LLC is a multi-member, also known as a partnership. The third LLC is an S corporation. And the fourth is a C corporation. Flip those. C corporation was third. S corporation was fourth. Does anyone have any questions? But I believe if you want to sell hot lemonade on a cold day, you should form an LLC. If you want to sell pens and pencils, you should form an LLC. I want to show you guys one more thing as I'm here live that I think is very, 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 very important, because this is how I started one of my businesses that I no longer do. This is how I started one of my businesses that I no longer do. I was selling shades. And if you heard me, you guys been on this platform, you heard me talk about shades. And believe me, shades, if you're not like Ray-Ban or Gucci or, it's not like I'm going to be selling shades forever. Now, my shades took off because my shades had no name. There was no labeling. I'm trying to log in here to one of my accounts so I can show you. This is horrible. Okay. Let me see if I can log in here, ladies and gentlemen. So I can show you exactly where to go, where I've gone. There's other websites that you guys can go to, but this is one of the websites that I've used, and you can contact some of the vendors on this website. Now, I spoke about Alibaba. Alibaba is a really good website. Alibaba deals in bulk. So if you want to buy like fabrics, you want to buy gadgets, if you want to remember the fidget spinners, people were just going on to Alibaba in this website right here. Let me show you this website. Let me share my screen right here. They was going to websites like this, okay? This is wish.com. A lot of you are familiar with wish.com, okay? And let's take, for instance, you wanted to sell these jackets. Think about this right here. I want you to put this into perspective. This jacket, this men's casual jacket is $9. Is $9. If you had one of those sewing machines, I forgot what they call it, not Cricut, crochet. It's some sort of home personal sewing machine that you can buy. And the only thing you need to do with this, okay, is put an emblem right here in the white or in the black or in the gray, wherever you want to put your emblem. So with materials, this, that, and the other, and then you can end up selling this jacket for $20. You can double your profit. But in the end, it may cost you $12 when it comes out to materials. But people are not thinking like this. Let somebody else, let the Chinese make it for you, and you profit off of that. You can double the price of some of these gadgets, okay? Especially when it comes to clothing. A lot of you trying to come up with these very innovative designs. That's pretty cool. But look at these little fake short sleeve hoodies that essentially has an embedded mask. It says protective bandana, cap t-shirt. You're buying this for $4. Again, the only thing you need to do is put a little emblem, form your LLC, register with your city or state, and then boom, you got a business and you're being profitable. Because here's the thing. If someone was selling this in my size, and again, ladies and gentlemen, here's a warning when you're dealing with Wish.com or Alibaba or AliExpress. Yeah, an extra large is not an extra large in American size. If you're talking about an extra large, you want to go up to like 3X. Always think 2 sizes above. Like a small is a Asian small, and we know black, white, Hispanic. Yeah, we're not Asian small. So, you're dealing with a small, you might want to get a medium to large. You want a large, might want to go up to double X or triple X. Just to let you know, you have to play around with it. Different brands have different size things and stuff like this. Women, all types of women want to wear stuff like this, right? It shows their figure off, their different shapes. They have all these different colors. Guess what? It's only $14. You buy one of these, again, you put you put an emblem on this. That's all you need, an emblem, a logo, and then boom, it's yours, and you sell it for $25. And as Americans, we will buy it. We will buy it. Okay? Especially when it comes to clothing. Look at this jacket. Look at this jacket. People will buy this jacket. If you sold this jacket for $25, people will buy it. I know they will. Especially from where I'm from. Look at these jeans. Again, you put a tag on them. You like, people ain't gonna buy it. Yes, they will. This is very fashionable. You got some buckles come across the legs, some zippers. I mean, it looked like an old used Michael Jackson outfit, but nonetheless, people are going to buy it. Okay. These jumpsuits, guys like to work out in these jumpsuits. They're like a jog, a lazy day. I would spend $35 for this jumpsuit. I would spend $50. I'm telling you right here, right now, for that particular jumpsuit, I would spend $50 for it, hands down, no problem. Long as it's my size. And again, the only thing you need to do is what? Put an emblem on it. Make it your own. So when we start talking about businesses and LLCs and things of that matter, well, I don't have a business idea. I wanted to make t-shirts. I wanted to do sweatpants. I wanted to build these particular gadgets. I wanted to sell gloves. Well, brother, sell gloves then. Put an emblem on it. You can put a little emblem right here, a little logo. Then some of you, well, hey man, I don't know where to go. I don't know how to build no logo. I don't know how to do that. I'll tell you all my little secrets that there's world renowned, well known. I go here. This is where I go to get all my emblems made. I don't go to him, okay? But I do go to Fiverr, right? Logo design, WordPress, voiceovers, video. Listen to this. I go to logo design and they show you all these people, right? They show you all these people that does logo designs and they're not expensive. Let me see if I can sign in. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to show you because I want you guys to do just as well as me, if not better. And one of these things is to own your own business and start making profit from your own business. Okay. Let's see here. I'm waiting for a code. Oh, it's my email. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I got to go into my email. This is a very cool way. And believe it or not, these people that work on here are from other countries who are very talented, okay, and very cheap. Now, granted, if you know somebody that makes logos like I do, another buddy of mine gave me his logo maker. I think I'm gonna go to him instead of going to Fiverr, but he's going to be a little more expensive than the guys on Fiverr because he's an American and he's going to charge me. But nonetheless, if you guys are starting off, let me show you this. If you guys are starting off, I'll show you where I got some of my products from. Okay, what I got some of my products from. Okay, that's from my other channel. Give me 1 second. Let me show you one of my first orders on here. It was with this person. I believe she's out of Pakistan. Yeah, and she's the one who made my Ross World logo. I told her what I wanted, and she developed it. Now, I'm going to tell you the pluses and minuses of building your own business and dealing with taxes and this, that, and the other. All the money that it takes you to build your business, the logo, filing for the LLC, going until you get your EIN number, all those things are tax deductible in some sense of a word. All the legwork. That's why you see some people who drive, they have one of those drive apps so they can essentially file for all their taxes. I'm going to give you a great example. because she has also made the opening of one of the things that you guys seen. Let me show you the one that I made. Very important. Okay, this is very important because it took me a month and it took these professionals 2 or 3 days to do this. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to show you the intro graphic that I used to use about a year or two ago, and then I changed it. So stay with me here. I'm going to show you my old intro that I made personally. It took me a month because first I had to learn video graphics, video art, how to layer different, and then how to put the music in. It took me an entire month every day, almost 10 hours a day to learn this. And I could have just spent $30, $40. Somebody could have did it for me. Okay. So look at this really very quickly. This is the one I made. Now that one is a really, really good one that I made. Like, I still like it. I can't believe I made that. But when you get a professional to do something, it looks, let me take off some of these banners. Give me 1 second. When a professional does things, it has a certain different look, because that one kind of looks old, right? But this one looks. That is a huge difference. Like, in my opinion, mine was good. But then again, this is what you call no excuses, because now you guys know, in order to form your logo and emblem and this, that, and the other, you can go to Fiverr or someone locally, or you want to support a Black-owned business that someone's doing. Because the guy I got now, he's a Black guy that I got from another guy that I want to support. And instead of paying like $30, $40, I may have to pay $100, okay, $150. But I'm willing to do that to support Black-owned businesses. Because again, just like we support any other business, we need to support our Black-owned businesses. And a lot of times we need to stop coming in the door. Hey, man, you got a discount. Now, granted, if you're a veteran, you ask for a veteran discount, but can I get the hookup? Nah, man. You're not asking. When you go in the Gucci store, you're not asking for a hookup. When you go in the Nike store, you're not asking for the hookup. You get what I'm trying to say? So essentially, when you start buying Black, things are going to be a little more expensive, because they're building a small business trying to make it bigger. So essentially, you coming in the door, things in some cases are going to be a little more expensive. So that's Fiverr. You can make your intro, your overlays, okay? Because there's certain overlays that you can actually put inside of your background. Like, take for instance, right? I have this overlay right there. That was part of the media package that she provided. Where I can take certain SV files and vector files, and they can be transparent, but I can put them live, or even when I'm doing a pre-recorded video on side of here. So this is all in formulation of building your business, but some people just don't know how to build a business. I don't know where to go. Well, I'm telling you where to go. Okay. When it comes to your EIN number, you go to IRS.com and you file an EIN number. Then you just need to search for whatever state you in, how to start an LLC. And believe it or not, we filed the paperwork. We didn't get no one to file the paperwork. You can file the paperwork to formulate your LLC in whatever state. And then you'll get a certificate. Okay, you get a certification of formation of that LLC in that state. Now you have created your business. You have your EIN number, which is like the social security number for your business. And then, of course, you can come up with the name. You do that with the EIN number as well, and also within your state. And then when you start doing that, of course, you want to come into it the right way. You're going to need a name, an emblem, a business plan. You might want a price sheet. You might, all these other things will come, but it's very, very easy. And believe it or not, you can form your business in one day. In one day, you might not have all the overlays and the emblems and signs and this, that, and the other, but you can form your own business in one day. And this is a great way to actually save on filing taxes through an LLC, especially if you file as a multi-member C corporation or X corporation. Okay. So hopefully, let me see if I have any questions out there. Hopefully I'm giving you guys some good information. And for you guys that are just tuning in, I want to let you know, I was telling people, first and foremost, if you rewind the video about all the different types of LLCs, you got your sole proprietorship, the multi-member, the C corporation, the S corporation, all filed under LLCs. Then also the formulation and forming an LLC and some of the benefits. Then some of the places to go, some of the resources I've defined and seen, which are very public, no secret there. And then also places where they get even products. Maybe you don't want to sit in there sewing anything. Maybe you don't want to sit in there contracting anything. Maybe you just want to go over to Wish and buy things very cheap, like myself. I will get a pair of glasses like this. Okay. I will get a pair of glasses like this. And let me show you something else. Let me see if they have it. Let me see if you buy in bulk. A lot of times when you buy in bulk, they give you a lot more. Let's see. We're going to change the shades here. Let's see. Buy. I don't really want to buy those shades. Place an order. I'm not placing the order. But what more times than not, what you can do is you can go up here and you can change the quantity, right? 50. Like you want 50 shades. So 50 shades will cost you plus shipping, or shipping is $350, only $1,000. Okay, only $1,000. Now these shades are $14 per. I'm just doing the math here for you. These shades are $14 per. Let's say you sold these shades for $25. Okay, so $25 times 50. Okay. Now your profit is only $12.50, so you're only going to profit $250. So you need to say, what is the common price of shades? What is the basic price of shades? You know, how much? This is basic research. How much does sunshades? How much do sunshades cost? I don't know why I'm calling them sunshades, but anyway, look at this: high cost, low cost, average cost. You see what I'm talking about now? Oh, that's solar screen. Okay, that's wrong. Let me see. Let me just type in shades. Oh, they talking about all. Let me see. It's sunshades, right, babe? What do you call them? Eyeglass shades? Yeah, sunshades. Sunglasses. Sunglasses. Thank you. Let's see the average. How much the sunglasses cost? Now it says here, sunglasses cost a little as $20, as much as $700. Okay. So that's when you go back and you say, well, that price is too darn high, right? And then you type in here sunglasses, right? And believe me, I've paid $3-4 for sunglasses. And this is my example because I've sold sunglasses in large quantities before, and I just went to Wish. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went to Wish. If you guys want to do clothing, you guys want to do gadgets. So you go on here, and I want you guys to look at something right here, okay? I'm gonna remove this, and I really want to get what you like. Take for instance these shades. Let's look for some good shades. Let's say these shades right here. These look pretty cool. They're around $3. Okay, we're gonna keep them right here. We're gonna buy them. Oh, we gotta pick a. Okay. We're gonna buy them. This is for example. Okay, and this is Wish again. And you're like, okay, all in all, plus shipping and tax is $619. Okay, cool. So now we want to up our order to 50. Right? So now your total order is $309. So let's take our math problem again, and let's do $25. $25 times 50. Again, we're at $1,250. But when we look at, you only paid $309. So what would you do with that? You would take $309.60. Let's just round up and say $310. You would say minus $310. Your take-home profit is $940. You only spent $309. You sold 50 sunglasses for $25, and your profit is $940. So wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Okay? I know this is the LLC tax benefits, you know, how to get your money back. But again, I always like giving little nuggets of information because I think it's imperative. Let's see, you guys have any questions before I get out of here? We got Joy E say Fiverr is the best way to go. There's another one, and I'll show that before I get off. He said, yeah, that is dope intro. Okay. He said, yeah, it's a dope intro. Well, thanks, Learning Every Day, and also Joy E. Let me show you guys one more website. I'm not going to walk through it like I did here. Okay. And this one right here, believe it or not, is called Upwork. And I actually invested in this company, and I actually looked into this business as well. Okay. As you can tell, here's a stock market piece. They're currently up. Okay. They're currently up, and they do freelance jobs, data entry jobs. This is a little different because it says Upwork connects business of all sizes of freelancers, independent professionals, and agencies for all their hiring needs. It goes into details of all the things that they do, sales and marketing, design, and creativity. So these guys are going to be a little more expensive, but okay, you can post a job and talk to a recruiter. So this is for businesses who need certain talents and here are organizations, but you can also find freelancers on here that do graphic designers. Okay, they do UI. Maybe you want to create a platform for your business. You need a video editor. You need an illustrator or animator to animate whatever you're trying to get animated. Upwork is another good resource for you guys in order to look into. All right. Killer 187, I need to buy me an LLC. Brother, you just need to form one. It's going to cost you money, so I know what you mean, but you need to form one, okay? Good morning to you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time for today. And Killer 187, I will advise you to go back and rewind this video. A lot of good information came out of this about all the different types of LLCs and some of the tax benefits that you can receive from it. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. You guys have a great and wonderful day. I'm out.